Well, maybe you'll remember that I live down here in southern Oregon, not far from Ashland, where I'm a pastor. And today it's a little dreary outside here, so I've taken refuge in a little camper, a little motorhome that my father gave me. It's not much, but it's fun to hang out in it and take a little trip once in a while. Maybe go fly fishing. I'm wanting to talk to you today about why it took so long. I mean, what's the deal with God taking so long from Abraham to Jesus? You know, Abraham lived 2,000 years before Jesus. Moses lived 1,500 years. And you might say, why don't we just get to it? If Jesus is what God had in mind all along, then why not just get to it? So I've made some notes that I'm going to refer to once in a while, just to make sure I can keep this sort of concise. You know, one of the things about God is He is predictable. Oh, everything's not predictable, but there's plenty that is. And when you make a covenant with someone and you walk with them and you spend time with them, they become predictable. You're predictable. If you and I spent enough time together, we could both sort of predict how we'd behave in a crisis or in a time of celebration, and that's how it was with God. He became predictable. He entered into a covenant, and we discovered that He was long-suffering, He was faithful to His end of the deal, He was loving, He was generous, He was self-restrained. Remember, we had that topic not so long ago. And by spending this much time with God, the people of God developed a track record with Him, or shall we say, He developed a track record with them. And He established a template, a model for how He gets along with people. And I know I'm probably a little redundant in this by saying that it's almost always, in a covenant that God has a relationship with someone. Well, a short-term relationship may not have a contract, but anything that's enduring is in a formal, set in a formal context. And you know, it takes time. So the question is, why so long? It takes time to prove that someone is patient. And so with God, here we have Him spending 400 years developing a people group in Egypt. And then you've got 40 years as they wander in the wilderness before they actually go into the promised land. I mean, God sort of dishes out relationships in long periods of time. It's good to see that too. It also gave the prophets plenty of time to paint a picture of the Messiah. I like to think that the prophets, someone like Ezekiel, you know, he's able to sketch out a charcoal drawing of this valley of bones coming to life. And then, of course, Jeremiah, you know, the weeping prophet, he's able to say, look, here's what the Messiah is going to be like. Chapter 31, He's going to make a new covenant with the household of Israel. And the prophets are able to come along, and this takes a little while. For Isaiah to come along and write there in Isaiah 53 about what kind of a Messiah the people could expect. It took a while. And God is not rushed. You and I may feel a little rushed to get to things and get right at them. But with God and the people of Israel, He is looking forward, and He's taking time developing a track record, as I've said, a pattern of behavior which people can count on. And in the other video for this third session, I'm taking a look at the prophets, a little more specifically, the work of the prophets. Why did God take so long? Well, to sort of plant the garden and to water it and let it grow. He didn't just give us cut flowers. He gave us a garden. So I'm hoping as you look at this, you see that it took a while, and He needed a while to lay the foundation for his relationship with people and the coming Messiah. Talk to you later.